All right, everyone, let's get going. Welcome to class. It's nice to see you all again. Of course, lots of familiar names and faces, a few new ones. Good to have you here. Um, it's chair yoga today. Oh, I'm seeing something in the chat. Patricia, you're not seeing me. You'll see me after I finish the slideshow. So if you're still not seeing me, then we'll check in. But I think you'll see me after the slideshow. Right now, what you'll probably see is just the slideshow, so the slides and my voice. And then V also put a little explanation there of like how to make it so that you do see me, but wait until after the slideshow, it'll be easier. Before we get moving, just a quick reminder of what else GoGo offers. So in addition to these classes, you can access rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, and home services. And you can access all of these by calling one number. And that phone number is 855-464-6872. Also a reminder that we have a referral code at the bottom of your GoGo receipts. So if you give that code to a friend and they take their first service with GoGo, then you will both receive $10 in GoGo credit. Oh, yes, and we are exploring this new idea. And so we need feedback. We need some help to see if you think this idea is good or how we can change our idea. It has to do with giving a gift to a loved one, giving GoGo as a gift to somebody else. And so if you're interested in giving feedback, you can share your name in the chat, and you can either just share the name directly to V. So when you pick chat, you can give it to just one person, or you can share it as a group. We need your name and phone number. And in exchange for those 15 minutes to have that phone call, you'll get $10 in credit. Also helpful to, if you do give V your name and phone number, just some times that you might be available, that would be helpful as well. So if you're interested, you'll leave your phone number, name in the chat, and potentially some times. And then you can receive some credit and help us out. All right. Also a reminder, we have a Facebook group. So if you ever want to check us out there, continue any of these conversations online, you can find us on Facebook and we'll share a link in the chat. Okay, now to what we're doing. Welcome to yoga. If we haven't met, I'm Adra. I teach the yoga and the functional fitness classes here at GoGo. What do we need? So today, all you need is a chair. I have a chair without armrests. I find that's a little bit easier, but if all you have is a chair with armrests, that's fine. My chair doesn't have wheels. If all you have is a chair with wheels, that's fine. I just want you to feel safe and steady. Most of this class is seated. I would say 90% of the class is seated. We do spend a few minutes standing. So just know that that might happen. If you need to skip the standing part, totally fine. We're skipping the move of the week because I was out of town. It was getting complicated. So if there were any past moves of the week, we're letting all of that go and we'll start over today at the end of class. I'll give you a new move of the week. So if we have old moves, just forget about them, or you can share them in the chat and let us know, but we'll let that go. Okay, with that, we will stop sharing the screen. And okay, so now you should see me nice and big. So if you don't see me, it means that your settings need to be adjusted. So if I'm not your big screen and you want me to be your big screen, you have to go to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom. So you have to move your cursor over there and then this box will show up and you can pick speaker view or gallery view. So speaker view would mean that you see me. Gallery view means you see everybody else. So go ahead and adjust that for yourself. Okay, and then if there is an issue, you can put it in the chat and V will help you out if you still aren't seeing me. All right, from our seat, let's move a little bit for a moment. So take some circles with your torso. And circle the other way. And coming back to center. As you inhale, you'll pull your chest forward and your elbows back, stretching the front of the body. And then exhale, round your back, tuck your tail and drop your chin, stretch your back body. Inhale, chest forward, elbows can go back, stretching the front of the body, and then exhale, rounding, stretching the back of the body. Keep going. Coming back to center, sitting nice and tall, and let your arms rest by your side. And you'll go ahead and do a little bit of side stretching to one side and then the other. So you're reaching one hand down, maybe the leg of your chair, and then the other. And making your way back to center. Hands can rest on your lap. We're going to slide the hands on our legs as we twist. So you'll inhale, twist one direction. Doesn't matter which way you twist. One hand can slide forward on your leg. The other arm can slide back. So whatever feels natural. And then exhale, twist the other way. There's really no right or wrong here. We're just twisting the spine right and left at your own pace. Let's go about one more time each side. And then make your way back to center. Let's go ahead and close the eyes or soften your gaze to the ground. We'll move into our starting meditation. So taking a few moments to just notice how you feel. Noticing how the body feels physically. Are there any sensations, aches, blind spots, areas that feel good? Just sensing the body. Areas that draw more attention than others. And also checking in mentally. What kind of thoughts are showing up? And emotionally, any feelings present? And you might find that these three things, our physical body, our thoughts, and our feelings, are really intertwined. So it can sometimes feel challenging to extract just one of them. So it's okay if, as you check in with your feelings, you sense physical things in your body. And same with your thoughts, how thoughts may have emotions attached to them. So just noting that it's okay that they feel a little bit intertwined, even when we're checking in with just one of them. And then begin to tune into your breathing.
sensing where you feel the breath in your body today. Noticing the speed of your breath. Maybe also noticing the pauses in the breath. There's this moment at the top of the inhale and a moment at the bottom of the exhale where there is no breath. And then taking a moment to set an intention for your practice. So maybe there's something today you'd like to cultivate. Maybe that's flexibility or calm, relaxation or strength. Doesn't matter, whatever that is, set that for yourself now. You can allow that to guide and adjust how you move through the practice. Remembering that this is your practice and your time. So you can always adjust the practice to make it work for you. Take breaks, add things, subtract things. Listen to your body. Take a deep inhale through the nose, fill your lungs. Exhale out the mouth, let it go. One more time, deep inhale, fill the lungs. Exhale, let it go. Blink open the eyes. And we'll start to move this body again. So as you inhale, chest comes forward. We're going to add our arms. Arms go back, reaching wide out to the side and slightly back. And then exhale, round your back and give yourself a hug. Wrap your arms around your rib cage. So inhale, chest comes forward, arms reach out and back. And exhale, round the spine, stretch your back body and give yourself a hug. Keep going. Let's do one more. And bring yourself back to center, releasing those arms. Let's reach the right arm up towards the ceiling and side bend to the left. So I'm mirroring you. So one arm's going to slide down a little bit. The other arm reaches up and then move through center and we switch sides. So we're going into that side bend that we were doing earlier, except for we're adding an arm. I like to inhale into the side bend. Exhale, bring yourself back to center. Keep going at your own pace. So follow your breath. You don't have to worry about my speed or anybody else's. You might find with each stretch, you can go just a tiny bit further. Let's do one more. And bring yourself back to center. Noticing your legs now, imagine that you're holding something between your knees, like you're hugging a block or a pillow. And so you want those knees to keep tracking straight forward. What often happens here in this next exercise is that one knee sort of slides back and that whole pelvis rotates, or the knees sway to one side. I want you to keep those knees tracking forward so that they're right in that same line. Imagine that you're squeezing something between the legs. Keep that steadiness so the pelvis doesn't move and the legs don't move as you rotate your spine to the left. So rotating to the left, I'm mirroring you. Hands can go outside of the leg. So we're twisting the spine, and then take a moment, look ahead and check out those knees. Make sure that those knees are actually facing that same direction and that they're right next to each other. So one knee is not winning the race. And if that's happening, twist a little less. So I want to find twist more in the middle part of the spine and not the low back. Nothing wrong with twisting the low back, but we're just trying to find some of those stickier spots that have a harder time twisting. Holding here for a few more breaths. And go ahead and unwind. Again, reset yourself in the middle. Imagine you're squeezing something between your knees and twist the other way. Twisting the other way, hands can rest on your chair or on your leg. Take a moment after you've twisted your spine to look at your knees and make sure that they're in that same line and they're next to each other. If they're not, adjust, and then you can bring your head back. Unclench your jaw and take several deep breaths. And bring yourself back to center, releasing those arms. Let's take a few shoulder rolls forward and a few shoulder rolls back. Allow the shoulders to relax, and we'll move our attention to our feet. So balls of the feet are going to stay down. So that's the front part of the feet. So if we split our feet into three, we have the balls of the feet, the arches, and the heels. So the front part, the balls of the feet are going to stay down and the toes, and we'll alternate heel raises. So the arch and the heel comes up and then bring it down. And then arch and heel of the other foot come up and back down. So up and down. A few times just noticing what your body does. And so I know we don't all have a mirror, we can't all see our feet in the video. So just bringing your mind to that region and just try and sense, what is my foot doing, or what are my feet doing? Where is the weight distributing itself? How is my ankle orienting itself? And then I want you to look down at your feet. Make sure that you can see them, or at least the inner part of the feet, and watch. Do a few heel raises and watch what's happening. So what sometimes happens is I see that the ankle goes out to the side and a lot of weight goes towards the pinky edge of the foot. So I'm showing you what that looks like. And we're going to try and avoid that, because that doesn't really strengthen the ankle in a functional way. So if that's happening for you, I want you to really think about putting more weight towards the big toe side of your foot, so the inner part of the foot, as you do these heel raises. And imagine that there's a wall on either side of your foot on the outside, and you can't hit that wall, so your heel can't swish out to the side. So I would say you want to put 60% of that weight towards the big toe side of the foot, and then the rest of the weight can be more towards the pinky side of the foot. Keep going, a couple more times here. If you're still looking at your feet, you can look up. You're welcome to continue with these heel raises, Or we'll start to add on. So moving through the heel raise, you'll then lift your thigh and knee up and bring the foot back down. And then other side, lifting the heel and then thigh and knee come up. I'll give you a side view as well. So you don't need to move sideways. I'm just showing you a different position. So noting that the spine, I'm moving my arms so you can see, and upper body don't move. It's just that thigh bone moving in the hip socket. So the pelvis stays relatively still and the spine stays pretty still. Keep going, a couple more times. All right, and then let's let that go. We're gonna keep working our legs for a little bit, doing some leg extensions. So we'll straighten out, and I'll go sideways, this is just a bit easier to see. We'll straighten out that right leg, and then lift it up a little bit, and then bend and release the foot. So we straighten now the other leg, left leg straightens, and then if you can, you're gonna lift that thigh up, and then bend and release. I'll give you a front view as well. So we straighten one leg, lift it up a little, and lower it down. We straighten the other leg, lift it up, and lower it down. It's up to you, so keep going at your own pace. It's up to you how high you lift the leg. Or the higher you lift the leg, the more you're going to feel those quad muscles. But if that's too much on your back or on your quads, just keep the legs low, right? You don't need to even bring the leg parallel to the earth. And we straighten, lift, lower. Keep going, a couple more. We're looking to feel the muscles in the fronts of the thighs, our quadriceps. Might notice one leg finds this a little easier than the other. Need more. Do one more each side. And bring yourself back to center. Let's take our legs nice and wide now. So we're going into a wide stance. Getting maybe a little bit of inner thigh stretch here. It's up to you. You can stay forward on your chair, or if it's more comfortable, sometimes you can sit further back and you can get your feet more firm on the ground, because a lot of seats are actually lower in the back. So just depending on the length of the legs and what feels comfortable, you either sit further forward or further back. Of course, if you have armrests, you need to be further forward. Notice what your knees are doing here. So let those knees track along that same line as your feet. So don't let them fall in. We want those feet firmly planting into the ground and the knees following that same line as your feet. I'll be mirroring you. We'll lean to the right, placing that right hand on your thigh or knee. You can stay right there if that feels good. Otherwise, you can start to bend that right elbow. Maybe you stay there. Or you bring the right forearm to your armrest if you have one, or the right forearm to your leg. So lots of options. You can stop anywhere along the way. Make sure that your hips are still grounded. So sometimes as we start to lean, we lift the hip off the ground or lift the thigh off the chair. I want you to keep that hip, both hips, down in your chair. Your free arm can stay down, or can reach out to the side, or can reach up towards the ceiling, or all the way overhead and towards the wall. Several deep breaths, whatever option you choose. Jaw is soft, and breath is smooth. Go ahead and lift yourself back up to center. Pause for a moment, maybe notice differences right to left. And we'll go to the other side. So as I'm mirroring you, we lean to the left hand on your knee. You can stay there.
You can start to bend your left elbow or bring your left forearm to your armrest or to your leg. Pause. Again, make sure your pelvis is really grounded. Don't let that right hip come up. Otherwise, you're not going to get that stretch in the waist in the same way. So we want the hips grounded in our chair. The free arm can stay down. You can reach out to the side, up towards the ceiling, or all the way overhead towards the wall. Nice deep breaths, relaxed jaw. Lift yourself back to center. Let's place the hands on the thighs and lean forward a little bit. It's okay, it just depends on the length of your arms. It's okay if your shoulders creep up towards your ears here, or if you want to bend your elbows, that's fine as well. You can stay right here, or you're going to start to bend those elbows a little bit more to get some inner thigh stretch. Now, I find that this feels a lot steadier if I'm far back in the chair, but you can decide what feels good. We're getting maybe a little inner thigh stretch as you bend those elbows and lean forward. There's no need to overdo it. You might also feel like your arms are having to work to hold you up, and that's okay. All right, lift yourself back up. Let's bring those legs back together. Just windshield wiper them a little side to side, shake it off, reset. Let's move our attention now towards the upper body. We'll bend the elbows into a cactus-like position. So we'll start maybe 90 degrees here. So fingers up towards the ceiling, elbows are bent 90 degrees. Then we'll bend the elbows a little further and lower the shoulders until you create a W shape with your arms. With this W shape, notice that those hands might want to slide forward. See if you can keep them back. So from that cactus, keep the forearms back and don't let them droop forward. We inhale, stretch those arms up towards the ceiling, straightening the arms, and then exhale, bend the elbows into the W shape. So inhale, we spread those fingers, reach up to the ceiling, and then exhale, bend the elbows, and I like to create fists here. So we open the hands as we stretch the arms up, inhale, and then we close the hands as we bend the elbows. Keep going, follow your breath, so you inhale up and exhale down. Noticing what parts of the body are working, you might start to feel some heat in the shoulders. Next time your elbows are bent and you're in that W shape, go ahead and pause. Relax the hands and bring the arms in front of you like you're holding a platter. So the elbows are bent 90 degrees. I'll give you a side view. You're holding that platter. As you inhale, we'll rotate from the upper arm bone, reaching those thumbs back. So our elbows are still bent about 90 degrees, but we're creating this external rotation. Arms are now out to the side. And then exhale, bring those hands forward again, like you're holding that platter. Inhale, externally rotate. Fingers will face out to the side, thumbs back. The arms are still close to your rib cage, so you're not going away from the rib cage. Exhale, hands come together. Keep going. Next time your arms are in that open position, we'll pause and hold for a few breaths. Then stretch the arms out to the side into a T position. Flip the palms to face forward, down, then back. So now we're internally rotating those arms. So we're getting that forearm to flip, but also I want those upper arms to also rotate. From there, I'm going to just show you my back because that will be the easiest. So from there, you're going to bend your elbows and take your hands behind your back. It's up to you where those hands land. So they can land low by your low back, or they can move higher towards your middle upper back. So we're getting some internal rotation here. We'll hold for a few breaths. The higher up you go, the more internal rotation you'll feel, and maybe the more interesting sensations you'll feel. And go ahead and release the arms, shake them off. All right, let's move our attention to our neck. So first, keeping the upper body still, or your torso still. It's just gonna be the neck moving. Rotate your head to one side and just notice how far do you go. Don't force it, I just want you to turn your head and see. How far does my head go? Maybe find something visual in your space. Back to center. And then look the other way. So turning the head, again, noticing how far does my head go? Maybe it's different than the other side or the same. Maybe again, finding something within your visual field that you can mark. Okay, that's how far I go. And then come back to center. From here, let's bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. So a little side stretch of the neck. Jaw is relaxed. If you'd like a little bit more stretch, you can reach those left fingertips. Again, I'm mirroring you. Left fingertips down towards the ground. If that's too much, just bring the hand back to your lap. And then bring the head back to center, hand back to your lap. We'll go the other side. So other ear to shoulder. Again, it's just in that direction. It's not that you're actually touching your shoulder. You're just moving that head and that side bend in that direction. You can stay there if you'd like. Right fingertips can reach down towards the ground. And then back to center. We're going to use our eyes for a brief exercise before we retest the head motion. So you'll bring your thumb forward in front of you. You can do either hand. You're going to look at your thumb. Let the thumb be about bridge of the nose height. I'll go sideways to see a little bit better. From here, you're going to follow your thumb as you move your thumb inward towards you. So eyes follow. The moment your thumb turns into 2, that's where you stop. And then stretch that thumb forward. You're just following your thumbnail. We're just finding that motion of our eyes. Again, if your thumb turns into 2, that's where you stop. Jaw is relaxed. Next time your thumb is forward or away from you with a straight arm, you'll pause. And then keeping your head still, so don't move your head. We're going to move the thumb to one side. And you're going to follow it until you can't. Don't move the head. Bring it back to center. And then thumb goes to the other side and going as far as you can, either to the point where your arm can't keep going or your eyes can't keep going. We'll just do that one more time each side. So thumb goes to one side. Follow the thumb with your eyes. Don't move your head. Center. And other side. And bring it back to center. Release, take a moment. And then we're going to turn again. We're going to twist that spine. You're going to rotate, sorry, not twist the spine, twist the upper part of the spine, the cervical spine. You're gonna rotate your head and turn and see, do you go further? So I go way further, at least on this side. And just noticing, we did a bunch of exercises that didn't actually rotate our neck in this direction, but maybe you have more motion now. Bring the head back to center. And then head goes the other way. See, I have a little bit less change on this side, but you know, just interesting. Interesting. Note for yourself what happened there. And come back to center. Cool. All right, let's go to standing now. So just a few minutes of standing. If you don't want to stand, feel free to just stay in your seat. I'm gonna get behind the chair. I'm going to move the chair off to the side or sideways so that you can see better, but you don't need to do that. If you can't access a chair, find a wall, find a table, counter, whatever you have, something that you can hold onto. We'll step that right foot back behind us. Feet can be anywhere from 1 to 3 feet apart. I want both feet firmly planted on the ground so that back heel is on the ground. And then we bend that front knee. From here, hands can stay on your chair, or you could hover your hands above your chair, wall, or table, or reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Whatever feels good. Hands come back to your chair. We straighten out that front leg. So now we have 2 straight legs. And then hinge forward a little bit, bending those elbows. So legs stay straight. And as you hinge forward, I want you to try and hinge from your hips. So it's your pelvis that's rolling over your thigh bones. Your spine does not change shape. You can stay on your chair. You could bring your forearms to your chair. You could also bring your hands to your thigh. Couple of deep breaths. Lift your torso back up. Rebend your front knee. Step forward. Back foot meets the front foot. And we'll switch sides. So left foot steps back now. All 10 toes face forward. Feet are anywhere from 1 to 3 feet apart. Bend into your front knee. Both feet are firmly planted on the ground. Feel free to stay right there, holding on to your support, or hover your hands away from the support, or reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Hands come back to your chair. Straighten out your front leg. And then begin to hinge forward. So you can start to bend the elbows. Thinking about that pelvis, doing that motion rolling over your thigh bones, or your leg bones. Your spine is trying not to change shape. Feel free to keep holding on to your support with your hands or your forearms, or hands can come to your thigh. Unclench the jaw. Pay attention to what you're feeling in your legs. Lift your torso up. Rebend that front knee and step forward, back foot meets the front foot. Let's come back down to our seat. So one last stretch before we do our final meditation. We'll go into our figure four, one of my favorites to finish up with. Lots of options though. So we'll take that right ankle and you can cross that right ankle over the left ankle and allow that right knee to rotate. So this is an option. It's sort of moving towards the figure four shape. So if you do that though, if you choose to do this option, to make sure that that knee actually opens out to this side. Your other option would be to just cross your legs in a normal crossing position. It's not quite the same stretch, but it gets you in this idea of lifting that leg up. Or you're going to go into the traditional figure four, crossing that right ankle over the left thigh. Now, if you're close to doing this figure four, but it feels really uncomfortable, but you're almost there, I suggest you sit higher onto something. So you could sit up onto some blocks, some pillows, maybe the armrests of your couch is high enough, and maybe that's the right height for you. So the more height you have, the less intensity it will be. You could also lean back a little bit if that helps. Knee can be high, so if that's where you are, that's totally fine. Or knee can be out to the side. If you need a little bit more challenge, take a moment and notice your bottom leg and just watch that that leg isn't at an angle, that your supporting leg, that lower leg bone is vertical, and that will really give you a little bit extra stretch. Feel free to stay sitting nice and tall, or if you'd like, you can lean a little forward for more stretch, or lean back for less stretch. Go ahead and lift yourself up if you're leaning in any direction. Undo your legs, shake them off. And we go to the other side. So again, I'm mirroring you. Left ankle and cross over the right ankle, letting that left knee open to the side. Just allow that knee to sort of flop open. We're getting some of that rotation in the thigh. Stay there or cross that left leg over the right in a regular cross position if that feels okay. Or cross your ankle over your thigh. And again, they have all those same options of putting something underneath you or sitting up onto something higher, leaning back, or for more challenge, just ensuring that your bottom leg is actually vertical. Feeling free to have that knee up higher or lower. And then feeling free to lean a little forward if you need or want more stretch. Maybe noticing, sensing how this side is different from the first side. We're not perfectly symmetrical. And then go ahead and lift yourself back to center, undo those legs, shake them off. And then finding your comfortable seat. So you can stay forward, or maybe now is a nice time for you to lean back, use your backrest, rest a little bit. Go ahead and close the eyes or soften your gaze to the ground. Allow the muscles of the face to soften. Allow your breath to smooth out.
Take a few moments to check back in with your intention if you set one. Then bring your palms to touch in front of your heart. Thumbs can rest on your sternum. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking time to take care of your mind and your body. Namaste. Thank you everyone so much for joining today. Great to have you. Our move of the week is not exactly a big move, it's a little move. I want you to practice and play with some of those eye movements. So maybe we pick one of them, the following of the thumb in and out, or going side to side without moving the head. I'll be interested to see if anyone found any effects from that. So eye movements without moving the head. That is your homework until next Wednesday yoga. So that is the move of the week. I'm going to call it eye movements, but it's doing that. Accommodation is what we call that, when the thumb goes forward and back in, or you're going to find that tracking, following the thumb with your eyes without moving the head. Sometimes you have to hold on to your head to see if it starts to move. So if you're not sure, give it a try. Hold on to your head and see, oh, is it actually moving when I'm moving my eyes? Or have someone watch you, and that can be helpful. I'm going to write that down, and then I'll open it up for any questions. Just have to write it down before I forget. Eye movement. All right, so now if you have any questions, now is your time to ask questions regarding class. So either the yoga or the functional fitness or a move we did. If you have GoGo specific questions, the best thing to do is email GoGo, because I usually don't know the answer. You can also use the chat if you don't want to unmute. And if you're ready to go, you can just pop off. Also, this is a nice time to, I know it's sort of a pain to do this, change your settings, but if you wanted to see everybody, you can move to gallery view and you can see other people's faces. Just know that if you do that, then next week or next time, you're going to have to move it back to speaker.
I appreciate the class, and I especially appreciate the fact that you do it in front of a white wall so that I can see your movements. I know when Caro is on, there's so much furniture in the room, and I have low vision, and it's hard for me to differentiate her from the furniture.
Thanks, Barbara. Yeah, sometimes it's tricky. We don't always have the right space. If you were with me last week when I was doing yoga in my in-laws, it wasn't ideal. So we don't always have the ideal, but we do our best.
Thank
Thanks
you
for being
very
here.
much.
Thank you so much for a wonderful class. Excellent stretches. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Judith. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out for a few more minutes, but if anybody's just ready to pop off, you can totally leave. It's not a problem.
Adria,
Hi, Ross.
glad you're back.
Thank you.
I'm again, Wednesday I missed the first part of your class regarding the eye stuff, but it reminds me of the Feldenkrais that we've talked about before, and we even mentioned with Caro that whenever I would warm up before a ski day, especially when you have to wait in a lift line. It looks kind of stupid sometimes, but doing the kind of movements that you do, and then the final thing, doing the eye movements like you're talking about there. And then sometimes, like you showed, staying in one position and then doing your turns and keeping your eyes focused on something down. And then the next, the final thing is to do your turn and then release your head, where you then turn your head and then turn your eyes the last time. So uh, you know, it's nice that you're including all these different kinds of things, because it helped me so much, for 40 years of stuff. You're asking for feedback on the stuff, but I've been doing the stuff before that I encourage your listeners to do the same thing and hopefully they get the same kind of effects I do. They may not go skiing, but hey, there's other things in life to enjoy. Thanks,
Yeah.
Adrian.
Thanks, Ross. Yeah. I mean, at least for me, when I include the eye movement exercises, I suddenly have a lot more range of motion. So that was just really interesting. And I'm glad you found that helpful in the past, Ross. Yeah. We'll keep playing with other eye movement things. Comes and goes. Depends on my mood.
Adrian, it's Carol. See you next week.
Thanks, Carol. All right, if there are no more questions or comments, I will let everyone go. Looking forward to seeing you. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.